Well, it looks like our justice system needs a good hard swift kick in the gonads. Let's begin. Now, of course, once upon a time, people actually had serious consequences for the crimes they committed. I mean, take the olden days, for example, where if you stole something, they would quite literally chop your hands off. Although, whilst it's good now that people actually do keep their body parts intact nowadays, because they are quite important, aren't they? But unfortunately, as time has gone on, the consequences have somewhat diluted, shall we say, to the level of what they are now in the world of 2022. Where a lot of the time it seems like the police just want to make you a cup of tea instead of actually arresting people, especially if this story from Sky News is anything to go by, because now it appears as if people who stab people in, I'm guessing, attempted murder can just walk free. I mean, whatever could be next? Silence in the court! You have been accused of speeding and drink driving offences. Please could you just confirm your name for the records?
Oh, it's Miss Kay Price.
Oh, why didn't you say so? You're free to go. The article says that a 90-year-old man who stabbed his blind and sick wife because he could no longer cope with her care has been spared prison. Edward Turpin, a retired butcher, got a carving knife from his kitchen and attacked his wife Joan in bed at their home in Orpington in Kent in September last year. Afterwards, he dialed 999 and told the operator, "I don't want to stop the bleeding, we want to die." Now, I don't know about you, but I personally think it's an absolute disgrace he's just walked free. I mean, it makes a complete mockery of our justice system, doesn't it? That someone could just take a knife to their partner in bed and not face the proper consequences, in my opinion. Especially when other people like Alex Belfield, which by the way I'm not condoning his actions at all, but he got 5.5 years from what I've heard for his simple stalking, and this guy just walks free. And not being funny, but why would he call 999 in the first place if they both wanted to die? He wouldn't, would he? He'd just let it happen. So I'm guessing, I could be wrong of course, but I'm guessing that any marks he had on himself were probably superficial. And can you imagine it from his poor wife's point of view? She's there probably trying to get to sleep, and then suddenly her husband comes in with a sharp metal thing coming towards her. Who knows what he's saying, what actions he's doing at the time. And admittedly, she's obviously blind, so she may not be able to see it, but I'm sure she actually felt it go in. It's just disgraceful, and wait till you hear what actually sentence he got. Giving evidence, Turpin said the last thing he wanted to do was harm his wife, so he was cleared of attempted murder, but found guilty of a lesser offence of wounding earlier this month, on the basis that he was reckless as to the injuries she might sustain. Judge Alexia Durham sentenced Turpin to 2 years in prison, suspended for 2 years, and Turpin was overcome by the stress and responsibility of looking after his wife. At the time of the attack, she said. Judge Durham added, Mr. Turpin will never be allowed to independently live with his wife again. Well, of course, what about anyone else that decides to live with him, especially if he gets fed up with them also? And I know he's 90, but that's still no excuse, is it? In fact, if anything, he's got enough life experience over his lifetime to know that that is the wrong thing to do, especially with something like this, which everyone I know has taught during their early years. But of course, as we all know, it isn't the only time judges have tended to let people off, like in this video, where it appears that once again, Katie Price has fell foul of the law. Anyway, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.